Alright, this is a warning to everyone out there. Be tactical, don't be tacti-cool. Let me explain. Okay, two things make up the tactical mindset. Number one is training. No, training is not what someone else teaches you. Training is what someone else teaches you, plus your own process of self-training, self-learning to develop a SOP, a standard operating procedure for your situation, your environment, your life. Beyond this, the second thing is logistics. Logistics is easy. It's a 6-point planning process. Plan number one, or point number one, I should say. You need a shelter plan. A shelter plan is you need to have a plan for keeping yourself warm, dry, and in some cases, cool. The idea of a shelter plan is to blend in. You don't want to be running around in a tactical vest with 8 guns and a sword and all kinds of other stuff if everyone else around you is wearing red flannel shirts, hiking boots, and jeans. Not to say you don't want to carry a firearm of some kind or some sort of way to protect yourself. I'm just saying you don't want to look paramilitary when you don't need to. So your shelter plan deals with not only staying dry, warm when you need to be warm, cool when you need to be cool. It also means that you need to blend in to your environment, your surroundings. Now, next in line we have you need to consider a ration plan, how to keep clean water around you, to get more clean water, and always consider water first, then food. It's not advisable to eat if you're dying of thirst, just because that burns up more water in your body. So you need to have a way to get water, a way to clean water, a way to store water. Basically, you need to worry about water, and you also need to consider food. I know FEMA says 2 weeks. I'm more of a 30 to 90 day guy myself. So that takes care of point 2, your ration plan. You need to consider a medical plan. Medical plan is first aid items, self-aid items, medications you need, especially if you're like diabetic or you have some sort of special health concern where you need regular medication. You need to stock up on that. A little known fact is that you are allowed to say that you lost 1 prescription a month to get a whole month's prescription back for you. So you can actually store at least a 1-month prescription of something you're getting on a regular basis that way. So that gives you at least something for the medical plan. You should also be looking at skill sets. Not just gear, but you need to look at skill sets. Same with the ration plan and the shelter plan. You need to know how to fix things, get things, improvise things to keep you warm, cool, dry, whatever you need to be. You also need to know how to produce your own food, filter your own water. You also need how to deal with wounds and injuries and people being sick. Next, you need to worry about your 4th little point of this 6-point plan is your security plan. This is more than just you have a nice tactical black rifle or assault rifle or whatever you want to call it. It's more than guns. It's basically you need a way to, you need to understand what's in your environment, who's around you, the condition of your environment, and you need to have a way to tell if there's anyone in that environment, especially if that other person in that environment might be a threat. You also need to have a transportation plan. I'm big on redundancy, so the last thing you want to do is walk out. It's good to have a means of driving out, stored fuel, or a way of producing your own fuel, such as biodiesel or what have you. Then you need to worry about a combo plan. And the reason these are aligned this way, and combo is how you're going to be able to get hold of other people so you can get information from them about what's going on in their area, or get information out to them about what's going on in your area, and communicate with other people. And the reason why I point these out is this. You can die within an hour of exposure. You can die within 3 days without water, 7 to 14 without food. An injury can take months to kill you. You don't necessarily know if you're going to find yourself in a shootout or anything like that. So security is not that big of an issue. The more people around you, the more big of an issue it is. So it might slide up, escalate. Like if you're in a city, security should be the first thing on your list. Transportation, you don't really want to be driving around a whole lot during a catastrophe or a shit hit the fan situation. And combo is the last thing, because just because you have a way of getting information out or getting information to you doesn't necessarily mean that anyone else in your area does as well. And again, you need to think redundancy, different overlapping areas for all of these. Now the problem why I'm saying this and I'm pointing this out in this way is because you have the Tacti-Cool group. These are the people who are fascinated with the military and warfare. They have these glorified ideas of Mad Max world and running around being Eli or the guy from The Road or something like that. They own a lot of tactical gear for no reason. These are the guys who, you know, they have tactical vests and all this load up stuff and all this stuff, paramilitary finalia, military surplus, all this other stuff, and they want to show you all their cool guns and all their cool military-like gear that really doesn't do much or serve much of a purpose other than showing it off to their friends. They glorify combat and violence. They've never really dealt with real violence, so they glorify it. It's something they want. They have this idea of honorable combat and proving how much of a badass they are by going out and killing someone, and yeah, it's just stupid. They train more for combat than survival. You hear a lot of talk about, you know, I need to do this or blah blah blah. They want to go out and fight, and the hordes of zombies coming to get you, and yeah. You know, they have more guns, bullets, and gear than the skill sets to use them. That's another major point. Like I said, the first thing on the tactical list is training. You always need to be training. Just because you learn something from one source doesn't mean you can't go back and self-learn or self-train yourself to learn it from another source. Books are great for this. Information is beautiful. Information applied to life and experience comes out. I mean, trust me. You don't need to be in the Boy Scouts to take a Boy Scout handbook camping with you and apply knot tying or any of the other stuff that you learn from it. You also have to think that, you know, the Tacti-Cool guys, they're always trying to impress others with the gun bunny and armchair commando talk. They often end up using military terms without having ever been serving in the military. And I understand, you know, in some cases acronyms are really great and a really quick, easy, expedient way of getting a point across, but it's a little funny when a guy who has never served in the military is sitting there trying to throw terms, you know, acronyms at you and everything else, and it's just like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Basically, it is kind of that violent military combat fetishist attitude. You need to stay away from that. You need to be concerned more with survival, staying alive, staying warm, staying fed. You know, it's not just surviving, it's thriving in a catastrophe. Granted, you're not going to be living the way you were before, sitting there on your ass watching American Idol, playing an Xbox, but you want to be able to feed yourself and shelter yourself and be relatively comfortable, so that not only is your morale not in the gutter, but you're able to think with a clear head. You want to have enough of morale to keep going, to think I can just last another day. And the more comfortable your situation is, the easier it is for you to survive for just another day. You know, as things break down and the longer a catastrophe lasts, the longer your standards will fall down over time, but you don't want to be, you know, in the gutter if you don't have